Michelle Fix It. So, this is an update on my CSF leak venture. You guys will get me driving around sometimes. So, it's currently 4:34 in the morning, and I have not been able to go to sleep because I had my first fibrin glue patch done on Wednesday. Today is currently a Sunday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm 4 days post patch, and it's been interesting. So let's start with what to expect when you get a fibrin glue patch. For me, I like getting the light sedation. So, you go in, you do your registration, you eventually are taken back, and they do an IV for you so that you can have your light sedation. Sorry, I will have pauses because I am driving on these very bumpy roads. So anyways, so you get your light sedation IV started, and they won't give you anything until right before the procedure, so you'll just have that, and they'll monitor your blood pressure and all that good stuff. And try to be a little hydrated because they're probably going to do like a pregnancy test and all that stuff just to make sure beforehand. And now I have one of my son's toys going off in the background. So this time she asked me to make sure that I went to the bathroom before I had the fibrin patch done. Normally she doesn't say that. Look at that. Love Baltimore. Red lights, just drive through them. Like it's no big deal. This city is so interesting. So anyways, went to the bathroom, which I have made an association that when I go to the bathroom, I do drop in blood pressure, and then I hypothesize that I drop in CSF fluid pressure. Yeah, that was redundant, whatever. So did that. I had purposely not taken very many salt pills because normally I have to take a lot of salt pills. I also have hyponatremia. If anyone's out there, shout out to you with your weird body. And then they put you into the CT, and you'll be on your stomach. So you'll be on your stomach, go into the CT. They'll mark out, this was a targeted fibrin patch. To my knowledge, at present time, I believe strongly that when they do the fibrin patches, they are typically targeted. So had the fibrin, she, marked my area. So we were aiming for T6, T7. So she marked where she was going to be putting the fibrin patch in. Then she confirmed. She kind of talked me through the process. And then she told me that she was going to be starting. And I got really excited because I had that deflated, inflated balloon feeling again, like I had from my first blood patch. Whenever I was like super leaking from the CT, the first CT myelogram. So it's a very odd feeling for the T6, T7 area, which is the only area of focus that I can explain. When she started putting the fibrin patch in, she had told me that I'd probably have some nerve activity, and then it would probably either be my like it could be like my breast area, it could be my shoulder blade area, but like I might have some weird sensations. And oh man, did I have the weird sensations, because it felt like someone was squishing my left breast during the procedure. And it radiated all the way to my left shoulder blade. And so it was like, as soon as she started putting it in there, I felt that sensation, which was so weird because it literally felt like I was getting squished on my left side in those very specific areas. And she was like, okay. And I guess because like it was painful, she was like, you have to breathe. So took in a couple breaths because she was kind of coaching me through breathing, because when I'm in pain, I don't breathe. And so she continued, and then I still had the pain going on, or the pressure. It wasn't pain, but your body kind of confuses it as pain. So I had the pressure going for the left side, and then all of a sudden it started feeling like that, like how I explained it with the blood patch was, I felt like I realized that I was a deflated balloon that became inflated. So all of a sudden, with those sensations, I just felt like my body was getting like more energized or filled or something. Like I could feel it from my toes to my fingertips, like whole thing, just like with the CT myelogram after patch thing, when I was like leaking for 5 days and I couldn't get upright because the leak was so bad. So I was like, yes, this is working. Because the other blood patches just didn't give me that. And I had thought it was because I used the sedation, the light sedation, and so that's why I didn't get that feeling. But I did get that feeling even with the light sedation. And so then I was, I laid there for a little while. The facility that I'm going to does not follow the protocol that all the big league centers talk about, and so that's kind of weird and frustrating. So I mean, I know that the protocol is not being followed. They just have their own protocol there. So I try, like once I'm out of there, I try to follow the appropriate protocol. So they didn't have any availability and recovery. So I recovered. Oh, excuse me. I recovered in the CT myelogram room because they didn't have any availability. Because if you have light sedation, they cannot release you until after it's been an hour since your sedation, in case you have an adverse reaction. And so I stayed in there. I chit-chatted with the nurse, and then just like with that other blood patch, like as soon as that blood patch was done, like I just really wanted to get up, because I felt like I was good. Like I felt like I was well rested, perfect, like what I call, high pressure, like how I wake up if I wake up naturally, where I'm just like, I am ready for my day. Yay, let's start it. So because after my first blood patch, I felt that way, and I got up, and then I immediately realized that I, had pain and it was a bad idea and everything else. I slowly was sitting up, and slowly, was like, hey, I gotta do some type of thing, like some type of activity. So got my clothes, started getting dressed and stuff, and then just basically waited out the hour timer. And I felt good enough where like I felt like I could walk out of there, but I knew that would be against protocol, so I did not walk. Waited for the wheelchair, got escorted out, all that good stuff. Rode in the back seat, laying down per protocol of the groups in the big centers, back to the house, and then laid in bed for the mandatory 48 hours. I did sort of break protocol because, this was my first fibrin patch. This is patch number 3 for me. And so what I realized with patch number 1 and patch number 2 is that because I do try to be so active, and then probably because I have EDS, I cannot lay in bed for a couple of days without adverse physical issues, like with my joints and my hips and stuff like that. So I had already told myself, hopefully, that if I entered into what they call rebound pressure, which is intracranial hypertension, which is when your head starts to hurt every time you lay down. And so the way that I mitigate that is either overheating myself or with activity, but you're not supposed to do activity after the patch because you want the patch to set up. So within the first, let's say 6, maybe 7 hours, I was entering into rebound pressure just like I did with that first patch. And so I just kept having to get out of bed and walk around every now and then, because this doctor does not does not prescribe Diamox. Diamox is something that they give to leak patients that are encountering rebound pressure. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on if it would be nice to have that or not. But I mean, I may do. So if you don't have access to Diamox, another thing that is in the groups they talk about is like dandelion tea. That does not sound appetizing to me. So therefore, I do not have any dandelion tea. So I basically would just try to walk slowly around when I would enter into high pressure. And if that did not subside it enough, then I put myself in the bathroom, fill a very hot bath full of water, and overheat my feet, therefore overheating my whole body, which eventually would like help, lower the pressure. I have some hypotheses on why that works, but it does for me. And then, go back, lay down, and then wait for the pressure to rebuild again. Very annoying. I also have recognized, whether it's just a me thing or an everyone thing, I have realized again that, if I urinate, then that drops my blood pressure. I did look that up. That is something that happens with people. So that's interesting to know. But I also strongly suspect that it causes a lowering of your intracranial pressure. So I was trying to force myself to do that, even though I didn't feel like I needed to. So it was an experience, to say the least. And then I felt well enough after my 2 days of rest to start doing, small things. I'm not lifting anything over 5 pounds. I'm not supposed to lift anything over 5 pounds for 2 weeks, according to her protocol. Big league centers say 6 to 8 weeks, so I will try my hardest to adhere to the 6 to 8 weeks, because as of right now, I am consistently in rebound intracranial hypertension pressure stuff. And so it's really frustrating, which is why we are out and about at 4:30 in the morning, because I basically play this game of move around, do stuff, try to lower the pressure with my head, and I'm tired, but I have head pain that is being caused by too much pressure in my head, and laying down, which is what I need to do in order to go to sleep, doesn't work. So it's not until about 9 or 10 in the morning does this start to dissipate, and then I can finally go to sleep, which is very frustrating. So I happened upon, I have cameras at a property that's downed right now that I'm working on, and I realized that somehow my camera got a little messed up. I think it fell over because it's like it moves around and stuff. So that's where we're going. We're going to I'm going to change a camera, and it's like 4:30 in the morning. It's like normal people stuff. But yeah, so that's been my experience. So as of right now, I am very hopeful that this patch is going to do exceptionally well based off of my experiences thus far with this very annoying rebound pressure. But rebound pressure, again, is a good sign that your patch is holding. And the other thing that is absolutely noteworthy is that after these patches, my heat intolerance has started to get a lot better, because some of our days have been like 94 or 99 degrees. And if my husband Cat was here, I would ask for him to say something, and he'd probably have some witty response. But essentially, I'm at my best between like 65 degrees and like max 72 degrees normally. Anything under like the 65, and I have to stay moving because like it's a little too cold, and then I put leggings on at 55 degrees. So that's my like general rule when it's like winter or like fall or whatever, or spring, is 55 and below leggings on, 55 and above shorts, because I have issues with my my temperature gauge, basically. And so normally like anything over 72 degrees and I start having a whole onslaught of symptoms. and I basically become useless. And then when we're in the 80s, that's really bad. And then we're in the 90s, it's like, no, I'm literally about to pass out all the time. Like in the 80s, it'll take me about 15-20 minutes to get that sensation. And, you know, that's been blamed on POTS, which I was recently finally diagnosed with. But my POTS symptoms are mysteriously getting better through this course of patching. So, like I said, I'm extremely hopeful, optimistic, and happy at present time, and think that that we're gonna have a little bit better, existence, because it's been super hot past few days, and I've been outside working on, you know, projects and stuff like that, light projects, just doing things that are very, very, very light in the scale of things that I normally do. And I've been really amazed with I haven't felt faint at all. And based off the temperatures, it's just like, it's astounding. Like, you can't make that up, because like people that work with me, because I have different people that work with me on my projects and stuff, and they're just like, wow, like you're not, you know, getting dizzy and falling over and, you know, saying, hey, I gotta take a break, I gotta like sit down or do whatever because like I'm about to pass out because my blood pressure, because I would just blame it on my blood pressure bottoming out previously, and all of that is getting significantly better. And so I am so very excited just off of the progress that I have. Now, if I can just wrap my head around better coping strategies with the intracranial hypertension, rebound pressure, whatever you want to call it, that would be great. Because the only thing that I have that I can do is to work and do stuff. That lightens it up. The more active I am, the more stimulated I am, then it helps. But, you know, 4:30 in the morning, I want to be asleep. And so at some point, once my body figures out what it's doing, and hopefully the rebound intracranial pressure goes away, it would be absolutely fantastic if I could figure out a better way than like doing stuff. Because as of right now, like I'm just sore. Like even though I was not doing a lot of stuff that was like strenuous with lifting and all that stuff, it's basically like I've been doing squats with the stuff I've been doing the past few days. So yeah, there's your update. And hopefully, excuse me. Again, I'm super tired, but my head hurts every time I lay down. So I am just kind of stuck in this weird little la la land. But I am super excited about my progress. And I hope that at my 2 week, 2.5 week, 3 week mark, that I can say, you know what? I'm still where I'm at. I really hope I don't blow this one. So cross your fingers and hope that I do not blow this patch, because as of right now, this has been fantastic, minus the intracranial pressure thing. Like that's just, it's very annoying, and I'm used to being able to lay down and get relief, and now I just am having to be creative. So I'm researching different things, but that's it. So you guys like and subscribe. Have a fantastic day. If you're on your CSF League venture, good luck to you. I'm not calling it a journey. I'm calling it a CSF League adventure, because it's highs and lows and spins and this and that and everything else. And, you know, it's just what it is. And now I have a police officer behind me. So it shall be very interesting to see if I get pulled over, because I am not going to touch my phone until I am either at the house or away from the police officer. Okay, he is turning. Because I am, I'm not breaking the law, but like, you know, you just get a little nervous whenever they get behind you, because you're just like, I don't know, I could have a turn signal out. I could, you know, my vehicle could be the make and model of somebody that did something. You never know. Anyways, that was my random little tidbit. Thank you, Baltimore City Police Department, or BCPD, for like protecting our city and like all that good stuff. But you're scary when you're behind me. All right, like and subscribe. Have a great day. I shall see you next time, and I wish you luck if you are on the same journey as me at present time. So, see you next time. Bye.